My selling agent is representing the buyer too. Is that a red flag? So on top of what the title says, this is an offer before we've listed the house or have had pictures taken. The offer is 10k less than what we were going to list it for, which doesn't seem bad to me. I just want to be cautious. I don't have any reason to believe my agent would do anything unethical, but this is my first home sale and I've always thought the buyer and seller would need their own agents to avoid any favoritism. Is this normal or should I be concerned? Did you sign a dual agent agreement? This is something you have to consent to. You can ask for another selling agent under the same brokerage to represent you instead. You are paying your agent to have your best interests as her motivation. That is not possible if they are representing both sides. At a bare minimum, ask their broker to switch one side to another agent in the same firm. Even this is not desirable, as their emphasis is likely to be getting the deal done and not protecting you. $10,000 under before you're even technically on the market? No. You're paying your realtor to make that house available to others. If you want to counter at full price or even at a premium to agree to keep it off the market, that's one thing, but I'd be wary of an agent playing both sides of this if this is the first thing out of the gate. Questionable practices, but you have some leverage here. Counter the original offer with full asking price and a reduction of one in the agent's seller's fees. If getting full asking price is your ultimate goal, this is a very realistic cougar and your agent should still be thrilled to not have to get it listed on the MLS. Dual agency is really bad. You're paying your agent to represent you. They can't fully represent you if they're representing the buyer, too. You're expecting them to be ethical. According to the law, that means they can't help you. Promoting and protecting your best interests would be unethical, illegal in a dual agency situation. Put the brakes on and find another agent to help you. Not good. You want an agent helping you get the best deal, not one who is overly interested in the sale just going through however so they can collect a double commission. If you want a quick easy sale, this is it. I'd negotiate the commission though, because they are going to pocket all of it and not split. You might pick up a few thousand there. Your agent is in a position of conflict of interests. So much so that where I live, dual representation is forbidden by law. Sign that. This is definitely a red flag. We did this when we sold our townhouse, but we were not pushed to a price. The realtor we used actually asked on FB if anyone in the neighborhood was interested in selling a particular model townhouse. I was asked what I wanted for the house, and the buyer agreed to it because she wanted our specific model. I asked for $10,000 above what any similar model had sold for in our neighborhood, and I think we settled on $5,000 above, which was good by me. It made life easy, but a little hectic going from nothing to a contract in less than 24 hours. Let it be listed, maybe it will go for $10,000 over your listing price. The same thing happened to me in reverse. My agent presented us with a deal that she was the listing agent for. The house never hit the market, and I am confident in saying it would have sold for more if it did. It worked out for the sellers because they were happy to avoid the process of showing the house. That same agent just told our house and we had 14 offers over asking price. Tell them they can wait to put their offer in formally after you list. Homes in my area typically post to MLS on 2WED. Open houses Sun. And the desirable homes are holding offers until 3 p.m. that following Tuesday. It gets very competitive with the homes holding offers. And psychologically it feels more stressful knowing they'll be in a formal meeting reviewing offers. So that's what I'd recommend you do and choose the best one. For me, you'll have to work for the 6 commission. Absolutely, a huge red flag. A dual agent buyer is generally a good thing for the seller, it's a red flag for a buyer though. In my market the norm is to list for $50,000 under the expected sale price. There isn't much of a reason to accept an offer pre-listing if you are paying an agent already. List it and take showings and go with the best offer. They want you to accept a lowball offer right out of the gate without any exposure to other agents and potential clients. Sounds shady as hell. I would definitely list it, insist on an open house and give it a minute to see if it generates any other offers. No, give me a clean offer for what I was originally going to ask, or list the property. Dual agency is legal here in GA, but it shouldn't conflict of interest. Bringing an offer lower than listing price before going on the market is very common. You don't have to take it. Additionally, you don't have to allow your agent to work dual agency with you, and you'll have the right to deny this when she sends you an agency disclosure or brings you a buyer with an offer. Personally, I don't know much. I've only been doing this about a decade. I mean that I've only been doing this a decade. I don't know much, but it seems to me that dual agency is virtually impossible to do with no bias. I try not to participate in it. My agent's husband represented the buyers without it being disclosed to us. We accidentally found out about it mid-transaction because she left for a month to India. We fired her. Our lawyer wrote a nasty gram to the agency, and tail-listed with a different agency. I did this once and got screwed over. I will never do it again. I would not accept the offer and would list it. Or I would counter with asking or over-ask, and if you really want to try and get it sold. In this instance there is zero chance I would accept a below list offer before it goes to market. How much is the house supposed to be listed for? That will tell us a lot. $10,000 under asking is a lot or a tiny bit. Did the agent at least offer to decrease their commission, since now they will get both sides? I probably wouldn't take a lowball offer before being listed on the MLS, unless I negotiated a lower for commission and complete access to the full buyer's inspection report. Both parties have to agree to using a dual agent. Logically, a dual agent should not be motivated to bargain on behalf of a lower price buyer since they are commission-based. In my personal experience, the dual agent becomes a mediator and it is up to the respective parties to negotiate the final price. I like dual agency because it motivates my agent to seek out a buyer for my property. In my last dual agent transaction, we negotiated the price and closed in 10 days. My experience using a dual agent was better than most of my non-dual agent experiences. The double agent will lower the price to sell quicker because the commission won't be affected that much. However, a $10,000 reduction would cost you about $10,000 in proceeds. Do the math. Agents should have the best or direct interest of their client in the transaction. Sadly, some agents would rather do a quicker sale that benefits them instead of their client. I'd never use a double agent. They can't possibly fairly take care of the interests of both parties. Hard no. Greedy agent wants both commissions. Agents represent their commission. They are lazy and will do anything to avoid work and get their check. So yes and no. This is not a good idea. Imagine being in a court case and your lawyer represents you and the defendant. You don't want that to happen. On top of that, the first offer $10,000 under asking is crazy before hitting the open market. My spouse is an appraiser. Most everything is still selling over asking even with these interest rates. 6 of $10,000 is $600, of which the agent will give up probably half to the agency. So selling it for $10,000 under only costs the agent $300, but costs you $9,400. You decide. $10,000 under a listing price that same buyer-seller agent recommended, as well. An unethical, incompetent agent could be giving you a low list price to get their buddy's cheap spot. Did you compare comps, etc.? Before market undervalue, this is not a good deal. As a home inspector, I've seen many deals not go nearly as smoothly or as favorably for the seller as they could have because it was a dual agent. You want someone who will fight 100 for you and not 50 for you and 50 for the other client. Unless you signed a contract allowing that, I would tell them that you are not okay with that situation and will not be moving forward. It's not about getting more money for yourself, it can be about making the transaction smoother. We had that option in TX for the house we just bought. I decided to use my own realtor though.